Welcome to Classic Game Room. Many of you watching have enjoyed Sega's iconic Panzer Dragoon series, but have you played Panzer Dragoon Mini on the Game Gear, part of their Kids Gear series in Japan? Another game denied to the Western market, only in this case, to be perfectly honest, you're really not missing that much. Panzer Dragoon Mini has some awesome packaging, but it's a really condensed, truncated kids' version of Panzer Dragoon that fails to capture the dramatic sense of adventure found in the original. One of the best things about Panzer Dragoon on the Saturn is the amazing music, which is not to be found here, and that's kind of odd considering other Sega titles like Shinobi and Virtua Fighter got some really good tunes on the Game Gear, although stylistically, I guess the Panzer Dragoon music is very different. Maybe they figure children can't tell the difference. I don't know, I guess it is what it is. It says Kids Gear on the packaging. Here's the game cartridge, and we even get a full-color instruction manual that I can't read, because I'm not a Japanese child. Do Japanese kids really need dumbed-down versions of awesome games? I always assumed that a 3-year-old Japanese girl could kick my ass at video games. If you're at all familiar with the Panzer Dragoon series, you can see this plays in a similar way, kind of. You don't change what direction you're facing, the game does that for you. Holding down the buttons will auto-lock on enemies, and you hammer at them to fire during boss battles. This plays more like Afterburner with flapping wings or Space Harrier than Panzer Dragoon, but it does have cute little dragons. If you're not familiar with Panzer Dragoon, then I recommend you become familiar with one of the other games in the series. Start with the first one on the Sega Saturn. I think you'll quickly fall in love with its gameplay, music, and style, all of which are just poorly represented here. It's super neat that this exists, although I would not recommend going through the hassle of importing it. There's 3 difficulty settings, multiple little dragon things to choose from, and a password system, so that you can continue your game at a later date. I beat it on my second try, and was rewarded with one of the best ending screens I've ever seen. Congratulations! That's just fabulous, and even though I'm not enamored with this one, I've got to give a big shout out and thank you to Felicity from Worcestershire, England, for sending Panzer Dragoon Mini all the way to Classic Game Room in space. It's region-free, so if you're a serious Panzer Dragoon collector or Game Gear enthusiast, you can play this one on whatever Game Gear you have. It's a cool collector's item, but I'd recommend playing one of the originals on the Sega Saturn instead, so thanks again, Felicity. From 1996, it's Panzer Dragoon Mini, and I'll see you back here for the review of Panzer Dragoon on the Sega Saturn, which is where this music comes from.